a rebel making trouble for the devil. Take this gangbang shit to a whole nother level. Can you feel me now? Armies in every city, definition of power. Players, while you with me, see the war is the prophecy. Survival is the strategy. Rest in peace to my comrades, that's the seats. Organize the streets in time, yeah, these devils petrified of a nigga in his right mind. They tell us that we hopeless and hellbound. It's for the brothers in penitentiary jail down. I got you in my heart till the day I die. Think of the damage we could do if we wasn't high. Can you picture me low? It's a thug's rap. Political contracts and bloodbaths. From a Toulouse Shakur up in the Rockets, though they got you. I never let them stop me, the struggle continued.
We got the real life shit from front to back. To my niggas in the world, Tupac is back. When my soldiers attack, when my soldiers attack. Where the fuck my soldiers at? When my soldiers attack. We got the real life shit from front to back. To my niggas in the world, Tupac is back.
Well, my name is Bill Duke, I'm a filmmaker, and welcome to Trailers from Hell. I want to talk about one of my favorite all-time films, Spook, Who Sat by the Door.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I'm not exaggerating. I don't know how this film got made.
Controversial best-selling
Who in the hell allowed this film to get made at that time? This is a film about a guy who is the only black CIA agent who knows all the secrets, everything about the CIA. Leaves the CIA and then goes to the black community and teaches young people how to revolt based upon his training. When I say revolt, I'm not talking about marching in the streets. I'm not blowing stuff up, shooting people. National Guard comes, you're going to mess with us, bam, you're gone. It's shocking because you can get that film made today. Tell me one person at Universal would approve this film being made today. Nobody. What's great about it is it tells the truth about our community. And this guy's training is something that kind of gives you not only an insight into the CIA, but at that time, its perception of us as a community. I think people love this film because at that time, the Black Panther movement was strong and other movements were very strong, and there was a lot of violence in the black community, and it was another way of looking at our community that was not self-destructive, but fought against the system that people felt helped create that condition of poverty in our community. And what the film was saying, enough, no more. We're going to fight and we're going to do whatever it takes. Cops aren't going to help us. We got to help ourselves. And we're not just a bunch of dumb people out there shooting people. We have strategies. It's very similar to a friend of mine who was on the police force who said he's really worried about a lot of these young gang members who are now in Iraq and they're coming back in gangs with training. And the police departments around the country are a little nervous. It's not just a kid with a gun. These kids know how to launch grenades, do all kinds of stuff. And he says that we have not seen the impact of that yet. So it's really interesting, the parallels between those two. This film right here was, as I say, every time I watch it, I say, how in the name of God did they get that made?
Now, air conditioning, courtesy of the Black Freedom Fighters of Chicago.
And one day we were smoking a joint, listening to jazz, and I told him about this idea that I had, what at the time I called the nigger who sat by the door.
Nigger Who Sat By That was the original title of Spook Who Sat By the Door. Hold on. For everybody that doesn't know, we want to just really address that revelation. The original title of Spook Who Sat By the Door was what?
The Nigger Who Sat By the Door. Well, I finally changed because I thought the Spook Who Sat By the Door was more subtle.
And of course, the play on words with the spook.
Exactly.
Now that was just ingenious.
Yeah.
The Spook Who Sat By the Door. I hear that the movie was banned unceremoniously. Take us back to that time on the day that you found out that your movie, which opened to good box office initially, was banned, shut down, no explanation. How did that make you feel? Take us back to that day, please.
Totally frustrated. Didn't know what the hell could be done.
You had to know, though, why.
Yeah.
Of course you knew why.
Sure. You see, we started receiving reports of exhibitors being visited by FBI agents.
Exhibitors?
Yeah.
Moviegoers?
No, the people who own movie theaters. Who showed the film.
Oh, wow.
And
the actual owners of these theaters,
right,
just for putting in that film,
right,
they must have had to be in cahoots with you with some type of...
What about cahoots? In some cases, they agreed to take it off because they were convinced. In other cases, they ran it for the full term of the contract. Now, most of those reports, of course, were hearsay. But the manager of McVicker's Theater on State Street, which no longer exists, was a man who had been the manager of the Regal Theater. He and my mother were close friends. And when I went down there to sell some books, they told him I was outside. He invited me into his office and said, former week, he had been visited by 2 FBI agents who tried to persuade him to take the film off the market. He threw him out of the office. So that's firsthand. The rest of it is hearsay. Mm-hmm. We also got a report that a delegation from the FBI finally sat down with the executives of United Artists, who were the distributors, not the producers of the film, as some people feel.
Right.
And they said that they'll take the money out that they had put in it, get a modest profit, and take it off the market. So it opened Labor Day in '73, and by February of '74, it was off the market. Totally gone.
You couldn't even... And of course, it wasn't like bootlegs or anything like that was back then.
That came after.
How did your film get to the streets then, even though they banned it? How are we looking at it to this day?
Young brothers would go in with a camcorder like you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was me.
Put it on a tripod and point it at the screen and produce VHSs. DVD that didn't exist.
So we had bootleg tapes back then, literally tapes, and that passed through word of mouth.
Yes.
So
and I'm grateful to those bootleggers because they kept the film alive.
That's the underground for you, right?
Exactly. And I'm an underground nigga, supported by underground people.
And of course, you're not terribly rich. You're rich, but not terribly filthy rich.
I'm rich spiritually. Materialistically, I'm broke.
So
I'm living on food stamps and welfare.
And you were telling me earlier that you can't even get hired by some of these universities to speak and to teach, whether it's screenwriting or filmmaking or black history. And why is that?
Because I'm not the kind of nigga who they hire. I'm their color, but I'm not their kind.
What is their kind? Better yet, what kind of nigga are you?
Free.
Enough said. Anything you would like to say to all of those viewers who supported your film, who love your books and love your poetry? Anything you would like to say to them?
Thanks.
What was the message in The Spook Who Sat by the Door? Coming from the author himself. A lot of people may get it twisted, and probably have, correct? As far as the message in your book.
It's healthier to fight, even if you're subdued, than to give up. Now, They have taken sociological surveys on rape victims, male and female, and they discovered that those who resisted, even though they were overcome, were healthier and went through rehab a whole lot better than the ones who submitted. So it's healthier to fight, even if you overcome, than to just give up.
Do you think that the spirit that you were trying to tap into with, in your book, Dan Freeman, coming back to the community on the south side of Chicago, we can get specific. Do you think those type of brothers, that strong revolutionary spirit, is still alive in the streets of Chicago today?
Yeah, but they have no direction. Okay, then.
And you were there before the gangs, before the Gangster Disciples, before the Blackstones, and the, you know, everything else, Vice Lords and Solid Four Corner Hustlers, the Latin Kings, before even the Panthers.
Right.
And you were telling me that you even had a part in inspiring the Panthers and their movement. Tell us about that.
Well, many of the chapters, the Spook who Sat by the Door require reading, not just for the FBI.
The chapters of the Black Panther Party.
Yeah.
You couldn't really be a Panther at that time and not have read that book, right?
No.
That wouldn't have made sense.
We didn't get a green light from a Hollywood studio. The bulk of our funds came from predominantly black investors.
Any notable black investors that helped celebrity investors that might have helped Greenlee get his book?
Most of them were working class blacks who put their savings into the film. On occasion, wealthy blacks who could afford it. One black man, a wealthy doctor in California, was ready to put up completion funds on the film. And he was approached by the IRS, and they said that if he invested in the film, they would survey his returns all the way back to...
Audit him.
They would audit him.
All the way back to birth.
Right, and he backed off. Now, there was another prominent black man who intervened. There was a consortium of black investors in Washington, D.C. They were going to put up completion funds for the film because we were running out of money and had to close down. And one of them said, well, look, we need to check out this cat Greenlee. He's from Chicago, and so is Jesse Jackson. Let me contact Jesse. And Jesse said, under no circumstances should you invest in this film because it's in opposition to everything that Martin Luther King stood for. So they backed off, and that's how we wound up with UA.
United Artists.
Yeah.
Wow. Next week when we come back.
Let me tell you something, man. First time I met Jesse, there was instant distaste on both parts. You know, I instinctively didn't like the guy. And he reacted instinctively to me. I despise Jesse Jackson, everything he stands for.
And when we come back next week...
Let me say this.
Okay.
I admire what he did early in his career. Okay.
I want to discuss that with you.
You know, he and people like Julian Bond and Andrew Young laid their lives on the line. It wasn't until he came to Chicago to operate Operation Breadbasket and then turned around and formed Operation Push that he became the hope that he is today. So he went through a transformation. I give him full credit in his early career. But once he became who and what he is today, I give him no credit whatever.
And next week when we come back, I want to discuss some of the black leadership in America, past and present. I want to discuss the making of the Spook Who Sat by the Door, and of course what you encountered during the filming, after the filming, and even if we can get in depth and learn about some stories on the set of that. So thank you, Mr. Greenlee. Thank you so much. I wanted to go more in depth since last time we spoke and talk more about the film and what happened. How hard was it to receive funding and financing for this film? And who did you go to?
We went to the community. Most of the money we got came from black investors.
Which community?
The black community. Our community, black community.
Around the world? Or just in Chicago?
Most of it came out of the States. We had a few foreign investors. Most of them were ordinary black people. We had one welfare mother put up her savings. We had doctors, attorneys, entrepreneurs. We had one white man who put up a good buck. It was international. And we shot it. We raised funds as we shot. We didn't wait until we had all the money. But we ran out of money, about $150,000 short. And there was a consortium in Washington of black investors who were considering putting up the money. One of them said, wait a minute, let's check out Sam Greenlee. He's in Chicago. I know Jesse Jackson. Let me ask Jesse. And Jesse told him not to put up the money. That's when we had to go to United Artists to get the money.
So Jesse Jackson told who exactly not to put up the money for your film?
The people who were going to put up the feature film.
The black community?
Yeah. They were black.
Why was he campaigning against your film?
I don't know. I've met Jesse, and he don't like me, and I don't like him. I think he's a phony and a sellout, and a white man's hoe. And he knows it, and I can only guess where he did it, but he did it. And if he was on fire, I wouldn't walk across the street to spit on him. Nigga ain't shit.
Well, there you go. So tell me how you really feel. So
I'll tell you how I really feel.
Okay.
My attitude about Jesse is ambivalent. He put his life on the line early in the movement, and I have nothing but admiration for him. But somewhere along the line, he decided he wanted to go for the dope, and that's when it became a hoe.
And there you go. Did anybody try to stop production of the film?
No, they came in later. You know, once they found out how far along we were, it was too late for them to interfere, with the exception of Jesse. Now, I don't know if Jesse did it voluntarily or whether he was following order. I don't give a damn.
And you've never found out to this day? Even in the media, even in the speculation, there's never been a response to why he protested against your film?
I'm not going to speculate.
Okay.
I owe him that much.
All right. So
all I know is he did it. I don't know why.
So tell us, afterwards, they tried to ban the film. What was your reaction, and how did that come about?
Well, when the film was... When United Artists saw the final cut, what we did is I haven't cut the action footage together. And he showed it to 5 of the 6 nations. 5 of them turned it down. United Artists thought they had a blaxploitation film. They picked it up. When they saw the final cut, they went up the wall. My reaction was, look, we got a contract, put it out there. So they put it out on a cursory basis.
They didn't like it?
Hell no. Why would they like it? We were talking about kicking their ass. So they put it out on a cursory basis, and it jumped off the charts, man. So then they gave it a wider distribution, put me on the circuit, promote the film, then we start hearing that FBI agents were visiting theaters.
So, FBI agents started visiting the theaters when your movie came out. This was immediately after the release.
Right. And they attempted to convince the exhibitors to take it off the screen. In some cases, it would open on Friday and close on Sunday. In other cases, it ran for the full extent of the contract. Then we learned that the FBI met with United Artists, and they promised to take it off the market once they earned back the chump change they put into it, plus a profit. That's when the film died. It was suppressed by the FBI in collusion with United Artists. That's my allegation.
And Tim and Daphne Reed in the early 2000s picked it up and re-released it?
Yeah.
Do you know them? Are you friends with them?
Yes. I made a guerrilla-style film about a guerrilla war.
Well, there you go. So tell me, what was the machine's reaction to your film, besides banning it? Did you get any death threats?
No.
So nothing that serious. They just basically shut it down and kept the people from seeing it.
Well, I think they had learned about the backside and moderating people like King and them. And I certainly decided that if I died under mysterious circumstances, the book and film would become
even bigger.
That bigger. And it might have gone into action.
Right. So, looking back, now, do you think your film has had the impact that you desired?
No.
You wanted an even bigger impact. Tell me, do you think that the literary community gives you the respect you deserve?
No.
Why not exactly?
Because I didn't write it for them. I wrote it for the brothers and sisters on the block. I don't have anything to say with the black intellectuals. They're a bunch of self-castrated units that have no impact on the community at all. But I can't get a job teaching. You want to know who's been turning me down?
Who was that?
Black studies.
And why is that?
They're a bunch of hoes. I don't have anything in common with those people. I don't write for them. I write for the brother and sister on the block.
And there you have it, folks. We have the legendary author of The Spook Who Sat by the Door, the iconic underground cult classic, Sam Greenlee. Thank you so much.
This man entered with a plan and studied revolutionary and counter-revolutionary tactics and returned to Chicago to start the revolution.
Of course, that was at the height of, or at least the tail end of the COINTEL program, and I have no doubt whatsoever that there were people that kept up with that sort of thing.
There's a conversation that people are concerned that you might be having with the film.
The 50 prints, all of them disappeared. But Ivan shrewdly put the negative into a vault under a different name, and they couldn't find that. That's how it survived.
And we'd say, yeah, man, you know, that it was playing at this theater, and they just shut it down, and the next thing we knew, it was gone.
So much for the First Amendment. But I ain't worried about it. If I wanted to make some money, I wouldn't have written that film. You know, I'm happy it's out there. And how did I get out here? Some veterans of the original Black Panther Party pooled their resources, sent me a railroad ticket, and wrote me on out here for the second year in a row. They did the same thing last year. So, in addition to Newark, I'll do several gigs in Manhattan, and also one in Philadelphia. Okay. So, I'm not rich, but I am famous.
Who's the spook?
I'm the spook.
And what is the spook?
Well, it's play on words in the film and the book. They used to call us spooks because we were supposed to be scared of ghosts. You know. But undercover agents in the CIA are called spooks. So this is about the first black agent in the CIA. So it's a double entendre because he's a spook because he's black, and a spook because he's a CIA agent. And in effect, he was spying on the spy. Just as I've been spying on white folks all my life. I know them better than they know me. And most of us do.
That's right.
Yeah, they were probably there trying to see what was going on. Information. And then it disappeared.
Yeah.
Couldn't find it anywhere.
That's right.
Well, that's how it disappeared. The government wiped it out.
Yes, it did. Took me years to find it.
You mean they actually told distributors not to play your film anymore?
Yeah. And then finally, they sat down with United Artists and distributors, and United Artists said that they get their chump change money back out of it, because the majority of the money came from predominantly black investors, and when they did, they took it off the money. Yeah.
Were you ever approached by the government, by the FBI or CIA yourself?
Yeah, I had IRS come by my house. I had 2 FBI agents come by my house, trying to connect me with a bank robbery. I had my phone tapped. I had my mail intercepted. You know, I was a target of character assassination. On the one hand, they said I was a womanizer, and then they said I was a homosexual. You know, only half of that is true. You can figure out for yourself which one it is.
What took you so long to get a distributor, and why do you think they're giving you a distribution right now?
Because they're not scared of us anymore. You know.
It's just as powerful as it was back then as it is now.
Yeah. But we got a whole different ball game now. You know. I mean, the street gangs are not revolutionary organizations, so they're not scared anymore.
The spook who sat by the door. The story of the first black agent in the CIA. For 5 years, he was their token Negro. And then he turned the American dream into a nightmare. The spook who sat by the door.
All right, this is the gun lap for the re-election, so give it to me straight.
Well, there are no major defectors for campaign contributions, dear. The war chest is in excellent shape.
Good. Very good. What is our image, Will?
We've programmed the latest poll, Senator. Lewis Harris gave us a random pattern sampling with peer group anchorage. Gallup, a saturation vertical syndrome study with horizontal personality backstopping. And NORC ran an ethnic study with racial and religious breakdown, status group compensation, and socioeconomic balancing.
Yes. Good. But am I winning or losing?
Losing, Senator.
Losing. But why? The computers had me ahead last December.
It checks out on both computers, plus the one we have as a safety valve backstopping cross-check. If the elections were held today, you would lose by 1.846 percentile.
1.846 percentile. Oh, yes. And the computers don't lie.
Isn't there a possible breakthrough with any of the peer groups? How are we doing on the Jewish vote?
The senator is solid with the Jews, Mrs. Hennington. The Negroes are the trouble spot.
The Negroes. I'm the best friend those people have in Washington.
The computers indicate a sharp decline immediately after your law and order speech last winter.
All right. Now let's see if we can come up with some ideas here. First, how do we retrieve the lost black vote?
Gil, why don't we accuse the CIA of a racially discriminatory hiring policy? They have no Negroes, except on a menial level, you know.
Certain, Belinda. I mean, that may be it.
I'm positive, but I'll check it out with our man over at Personnel.
Good.
Whoever they select will be the best-known spy since 007.
Now stand. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do hereby swear to uphold the laws of the United States of America. To uphold the laws of the United States of America.
And those laws governing the Central Intelligence Agency.
What do you see in this inkwad?
That's the man.
If I were undercover as a political or economic officer in an embassy and I was questioned about racism in the United States, I'd point out that they also have racial and religious troubles, that a thing like that isn't resolved overnight, and that our country is firmly behind racial progress and great strides are being made here.
And so on behalf of the director of our agency, I'd like to offer congratulations on completing our tough preliminary training course. After weeks of physical and psychological testing, you 10 men have survived the more than 40 already sworn in, who in turn were selected from a careful screening and security check of hundreds. You men, therefore, represent the best of your race. The survivors of our regular training course to begin tomorrow will be the first of your race to join the finest intelligence and espionage fraternity in the history of mankind. I must emphasize, however, that you are by no means agents as yet. Now, the selecting out process continues right up until graduation day. So, keep on your toes, keep your noses clean, and I hope to congratulate you on joining the team at the end of the training course. Thank you.
Well, Ain't it groovy to be a spy?
Right on.
Really? We the first spooks to be spooks for the CIA.
Hey, man, you know how much this scotch costs in the commissary? $3. Chev ass Regal.
Yeah, it's cheaper overseas, man.
Yeah, and rent-free housing overseas, too.
Hey, you went to Fisk, didn't you? I'm from Howard.
Say, you a frat man?
Yeah, man. Alpha. No kidding, baby. So am I. Okay. Hey, let's get it over there.
Hey, didn't we meet last year at the pen relays? Oh, man, yeah. At that party at the motel.
Hey, man, we got it made now.
Yeah, but don't forget what Carstairs said. Dig, they can still flunk us out. Yeah, I don't think Carstairs would be uptight if we all flunked out. And you know that PT instructor Calhoun hates us.
Hey, man, it doesn't matter how they feel. You know, the word is integration from the top. Now, some of us have got to make it, and we're it. You just have to understand the theory of tokenism. Look, they grade on a curve. None of us get too eager. Gentlemen see for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
Black
you got it, brother.
Four more seconds. As you can see, gentlemen, there is one quick way to fail this course.
Then we take the two wires, we face them here, and we crimp them together, making the connection positive. We take the switch then, and we throw it.
All right, we'll operate the ignition by remote control.
Always use those materials which are easily accessible to any citizen of the country in which you are operating. Okay.
How long before this experiment and integration ends?
There are only 6 left in the group, General. And? The top-ranking man academically will fail the physical requirements. He's no athlete. Another figures to flunk this week's exam, but one might make it.
You assured me 2 weeks ago no one would survive.
Somehow I forgot Freeman even existed. He has a way of fading into the background. But he's been among the top 3 in academics and first in athletic training.
Yes, they do make good athletes. Which one is he?
That one.
Come in.
Hey, Freeman.
Hey.
Come on in. Listen, we're going into Washington. You want to come along with us?
No, got some studying to do.
They've been letting us in town for a month now, man, and you ain't been out of here yet. We're going nuts in here.
Well, maybe next time. Hey, you gotta cool it. Cool it? Mm-hmm. Cool it.
You weren't so eager to please the white man and send the grading curve up. There'd be 3 times as many of us here now. What kind of Tom are you, anyway?
Same as you, I guess. Except that I don't try to have it both ways. And you better watch what you say about white folks. Behind their back, this place could be bugged.
Are you calling me a Tom, man?
Well, none of us would picture our militancy now, will we? Now, why don't you go away and let me alone?
Why don't you join the team, man?
Team? Man, I'm not playing any games.
you just don't belong. I think you'd be happier with a mop in your hands.
Like your mama.
Let's step outside now.
No. You don't want to step outside with me. Because, baby, I would kick your ass.
Come on, come on. No, wait a minute, man. No, wait a minute. This fool is crazy, man. Come on.
A glass of Voici. And, would you give the young lady down the end of the bar whatever she's drinking?
Yes.
This is from the fellow at the end of the bar.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
You looking for some action?
Yeah. How much?
15 and 5. 5 at the hotel.
Yeah. And all night?
Not on Saturday, baby.
Okay. You know, you remind me of someone.
Oh, really?
Who? A queen.
Look, baby, all you got to do is give me my bread. You don't have to talk no trash.
No, really.
What kind of queen?
A queen from Dahomey.
Dahomey? What the hell is Dahomey?
Dahomey was a great nation in Africa.
Africa?
No, really. I've got a book with a picture of you. You look just like her. I'll give you the book.
Sure.
No. You two could be twins, except that she, wore her hair different. You know.
How?
It was kind of like natural, you know, the way it grew. You look good like that.
Look, honey, if you a hairdresser, maybe I can get you a boy.
No. You'll do.
Good. Then why don't you just be a trick and stop talking all that shit about queens and kinky hair?
Okay. Listen, can I get you another drink?
Mm-hmm. You really got a book with a picture in it that look like me?
I'll bring you the book.
When?
The next time I see you.
Mate. Right. Hey.
Mr. Freeman, you will stay for additional instruction. Mr. Freeman, I don't think you people belong in our outfit. I don't have anything against the rest of the group. They just don't measure up. But you, I don't like.
I don't understand, sir.
Well, I don't like your phony humility, and I don't like your style. Now, this is a team for men, not misplaced cat pickers.
Yes, sir.
Stow the Yazabas. It doesn't work on me. I'll give you a chance. Just go up to the office and resign. Otherwise, we fight. Now, your black belt matches my own, so you won't be able to whine brutality, equal opportunity you people claim you want. Mr. Sue, Shinban. Rest?
No. There ain't no rest for the weary.
Son, are you all right?
Hey, baby, don't look so sad. Be back in a month.
Well, at least we won't have to stay in a hotel. They let us start commuting in 2 weeks, and I'm going to get us a pad.
You know, I don't mind this place too much. It kind of reminds me of that hotel off campus. Remember?
Well, listen, what would happen to the Cook County Department of Welfare if the starved caseworker misworked tomorrow?
Casework supervisor, honey.
Okay, Miss Big Temple. What would happen?
You play hooky?
Yeah. I found a beautiful restaurant last week.
Do they have shark's fin soup?
No, it's a West Indian restaurant.
Oh, shark's fin soup with beans and rice, huh?
Yes.
Hope they stay open late.
They've all been eliminated except Freeman, sir.
Will we make it?
I think so. He has written in all the finals this week.
Security?
Checks out so far. Routine security checks in the training barracks and checks on his activities in Washington. Of course, he's only been allowed out of the training area for the last 2 months.
Anything suspicious?
No, sir. He checked into a colored hotel, spent his weekends in the ghetto, mostly on U Street.
That's pretty tough territory.
Yes, sir, but he seems at home there. He grew up in a neighborhood much like it in Chicago.
How did he get through college?
Athletic scholarship.
That figures.
Also explains the Calhoun incident.
Sir, in fairness to Calhoun, Freeman's been studying judo privately for years.
Politics?
Apolitical. He was involved in civil rights activity as a student, but nothing pink or radical.
Men or women?
Women. No hint of homosexuality. Developed a liaison with a prostitute on U Street. Also has a girlfriend in Chicago. Apparently he's known her since they were college students.
When will you run a final 6'9" security check?
It's already in progress. It should be finished in a few days.
Run up a dossier on this whore and give it to me. Leave Freeman's file. Secure security's in.
Yes, sir.
Figured out something for him to do?
Yes, sir.
Well, like it or not, looks as if we're integrated.
You know if he takes any dope? Heroin, LSD, marijuana, pills?
No. He don't even smoke. He ain't no junkie, baby.
Does he have a tendency to boast? Brag about himself?
He don't talk about himself at all. Most regular tricks want to tell you the story of their whole lives.
Does he gamble?
If he do, I don't know about it. Took him to a joint one night. Craps, poker. If he get in, I get a cut. You just stand around and look.
What'd you say? Violent? Uncontrollable temper?
Temper? No. He'll never lose his cool. But people don't give him no shit.
Huh? How do you mean?
He's one of them quiet kind of cats that people just don't mess with. Like that time I was telling you about. The cat that owned it owed me some bread. Started to get off the wall about it. Then you check out Freeman. Just standing there, quiet, digging the action. And the cat, bad, make two of Freeman. Check out Freeman. Look at me. Give me my bread. Thought about that night. He ain't my man or nothing like that, but I know that if I got in trouble, he'd be in it. I think he'd be real bad once he get going, too.
What about his sexual habits?
Huh?
You think he might be homosexual?
No. You're wasting your time now.
What is the guiding principle of an underground guerrilla army?
To live off the country. To rely on nothing in the way of logistics or supplies which cannot be obtained easily and simply, whether legally or illegally.
What happens in an underground organization when the first or second in command are killed or captured?
Each man is trained to handle positions 3 steps ahead of him in grade. The operations officer takes over, and the others move up 2 grades.
It's fine. That concludes our oral examination, and let me congratulate you on being the first Negro officer in the Central Intelligence Agency. We've programmed your aptitudes into our computer personnel system. You're to be our new top secret reproduction center section chief.
Hey,
Oh. Hi, Doris. What brings you all the way down here to the 3rd sub-basement?
the general needs someone to give a guided tour for a bunch of senators. You think you can handle it?
Yeah, I think I can handle it.
Good. Senators are in the general's office now. Freeman, you don't like me, do you?
What makes you say that?
You never seem very friendly when you bring top secret documents to the office. Sometimes it seems like you don't even know I'm around.
Oh, it's just that I'm preoccupied with my duties. I just want to make good here, that's all.
You're very ambitious, aren't you?
Yeah. I want to be the best reproduction section chief they've ever had.
But you are. Everyone says you're doing much better than expected.
Well, I certainly hope so.
Well, it could have been more, didn't it? Well, gentlemen, our Mr. Freeman, he'll conduct your tour. Senator Barton, Senator Chambers, Senator Wilson.
How do you do? Right this way, gentlemen.
General, I'm delighted. A member of your personal staff already.
Now that's integration in action. You know, that's not a bad idea. Put him on my personal staff. If he doesn't bungle this tour, we'll keep him up here.
Yes, sir. We can put him out in reception. All our visitors could see we're integrated.
I'm not coming back to Washington anymore, Dan. I'm getting married.
The doctor or a lawyer?
The doctor.
He seems like a nice cat.
I'm sorry. But I'm not getting any younger.
And I'm not in your bag, right? I always knew it had to happen someday. It's all right, baby. Baby. Joy, let's say goodbye right.
Dan, I'm certainly pleased with the way you fitted into the agency. How long have you been with us now?
A bit more than 5 years, sir.
And you've done well. You're a credit to your race.
Thank you, sir.
Hard work, Dan. No shortcuts. Other minorities have pulled themselves up by the bootstraps.
Yes, sir.
You're a perfect example, Dan. Fine, natural athlete. Well, no denying your people are great in sports.
Well, thank you, sir, but we still have a long way to go.
Right. There's still a cultural gap to be closed. It's a question of evolution. Of course, it'll take generations. In the meantime, you people must earn respect by serving the country. Freeman, you people must serve.
General, I want to serve.
I don't understand.
Your comments last Friday afternoon convinced me I can make a real contribution. So I'm going back to Chicago and work with my people and show them the way.
Now, don't be hasty, Freeman. Perhaps you should think this thing over. After all, you do set an example for your people to follow.
Well, I realize that, General, and I have thought about it. But I've decided to take this position with the Social Service Foundation and help my people help themselves. Use what I've learned here.
Well, we'll be sorry to see you go, Dan. Take all the time you need to phase out here. Be sure to let us know how things are going in Chicago.
All right, sir, I will.
Carstairs, bring in Freeman's file. Freeman's leaving us for a do-gooder outfit in Chicago.
More money?
What else? Check out this foundation he used to work for. Saturation and depth security check.
And Freeman?
He's safe enough. A routine surveillance of the foundation is clean. Phone tap, random and regular checks on his activities and associates.
I'll telex the Chicago office today.
Dan, we really got our work cut out for us. Some of the fairest young dudes in Chicago, if not the country, operating right here in our territory, the King Cobras.
I used to be a Cobra.
You? Yeah. They used to call me Turk. That gang goes back about 30 years. Listen, do they still hang out down at that, what is it, Pete's?
Yeah, you can find them there any night. Except now they own the place.
Hello, Miss Duncan.
Oh, Mr. Freeman, hi. Why don't you join me?
Good. Listen, that looks good.
It is delicious. You want to try some?
Miss Duncan, how's your son, Shorty, doing?
Oh, Shorty's doing just fine. He got a job now, making good money. In fact, he just bought me a color television set.
Well, I hear that he's not only running numbers and pushing drugs, he's hooked.
No, he ain't no real junkie. Sure, he shoots up now and then. I don't think he got no more than about a $20 or $30 a week habit. And that ain't no habit.
Well, did you ever think that he could end up in jail?
Not unless somebody turned the heat on in the precinct. And then I can't hardly see why they'd be after Shorty, because he ain't into it that much.
Shorty ever think about finishing at least high school?
No, he don't want no parts of school. You know how them teachers are.
Well, without an education, what's he going to do?
Mr. Freeman, you know ain't nothing out there for us. But right out there in those streets where Shorty is.
How you doing, Shorty?
Hey, Chuck.
I just saw your mother inside the restaurant.
Yeah, I just saw my way down and lay some bread on.
Shorty, the word is on Vine that you're not making your payoff to the cops.
That's the rumor, Turk.
You mind if I give you a little advice?
No, go ahead.
Why don't you just quit dealing altogether?
Oh, man, you know I can't do that, Turk. It's so violent.
You ever stop to think what would happen in these streets if we cut off the flow of drugs altogether? White folks control your neighborhood through drugs and you dealing.
So what you gonna do now? Give me a sermon?
No, sermon, Shirley. I just thought I'd ask. It's all table. I want to talk to you. No talk. Social worker. You better split. You know who I am?
Yeah, flunkhead. We know who you are.
Let's go out in the alley. This won't take long.
You don't want to go out there, man. That's where you want to go. Right now.
Yeah. Next time, social worker. We have recipes too.
Shut up. And listen, big time badass cobras. Popping away at the pigs from the rooftops, doing riots last summer. Oh yeah, I know what you was into. The 22 rifles and pistols did about as much damage as a mosquito to an elephant's ass. Where'd you expect to hit from that range with those weapons at night? You might as well have thrown the damn pieces at the pigs. You really want to mess with Whitey? But I can show you how. I can show you how. You twist the wires to make contact and throw the switch.
Come on with it. Come on with it. Bring it on here. Easy. Easy now. Take your time. Slowly, baby. Touch it off. Get out. All right. I'll operate the ignition by remote control. Thank you. And drop it. Now. Get out of here. That's it. Elbow up. The other elbow underneath the piece. That's it. Parallel. That's it. That's lean into it. What's wrong, Willie?
We're gonna mess around like a high school chemistry class. Man, anybody can make explosives like this.
Okay, Willie. You go order some plastic and detonators from Marshall Fields. Everything on this table can be obtained easily from a drugstore, a hardware store, or medical supply house. If we can get sophisticated equipment, we'll use it, but we don't rely on it. We live off the land. We match technology with spontaneity and improvisation. Men against machines, brains against computers. Now, if you don't think it can work, you check out Algeria, Kenya, Korea, and Vietnam. Can you dig it?
I understand, man. That's cool.
You find out in the country how difficult range estimation is. But in the city, the problem's simplified. A city block is 250 yards north to south, 150 yards east to west. And lampposts are a standard 30 yards.
So we got reference points all over.
Right. And since the buildings act as a funnel for the wind, you can fire on zero windage. Now, run it down to the sniper teams, and I'll be in my pad all night if you need me.
Cool, Ted.
Okay.
How's the new job coming along?
It's, all right.
All right. The word's out in the grapevine how much money you're making.
Well, nothing's changed about the gig except the bread.
But I used to know you when you thought making money was obscene. Making a contribution was your thing.
Well, there's no reason why I can't do both.
That's what I used to try to tell you, but you wouldn't listen. Since the war on poverty, all the social workers are making money.
Everyone except Paul.
Now, that's the old dad. But you have changed. Maybe I should have waited.
Well, too late to talk about that now. You already have a husband.
Yeah. After a fashion. He goes his way, and I go mine. By the way, Dawson's back from California.
Yours?
Excuse me. Look, excuse me.
Oh, how you doing?
Okay.
This is Peter Dawson, Anena, Sylvia.
Oh, yeah?
I came down to see you. And we're going to have a drink. Can you get over with us someday? Well, if you can, okay? Come on, girls.
How come you always often pay me like the 50 you owe me when we're about to be stuck up?
Because I'm good to you. Trust me. Hey, listen.
Hey, maybe, Okay.
What are you having?
Cognac.
So how you been, dummy?
Okay.
George tells me that you were in California?
Yeah, I conducted a 15-week seminar on inner-city riot control.
What's that?
Well, it has to do with the Chicago Police Department's approach to street gangs.
And they sent you?
Oh, better. 5-year warlord of the Apaches.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, this is an ex-hoodlum turned cop. Here's to old friends rediscovered.
And the new ones.
Tell me about this new job. The next stage of your training program is to learn how to steal. Yes, sir. I know you're all experts in stealing from your black brothers and sisters. Now you will learn how to steal from the enemy. Remember, a black man with a mop, tray, or broom in his hand can go damn near anywhere in this country. And a smiling black man is invisible. The president of Chicago Edison's collective pipes. Stud, you will rip off the president's pipes while he's in his office. I want to talk to you, Willie. Your brothers tell me you write.
Yeah?
Good. We need a propagandist. So you're the Minister of Information. I want you to set up a group and use whoever you want.
Okay. What you want, like some posters, music, poetry?
Anything. Just as long as you talk to the people in the language that they understand.
Well, I know about 6 of the cats I can use. You know, there's a lot of wasted talent in Cobras.
Good, let's use it. And give me an outline in 2 weeks?
1 week, man. I ain't no problem.
Beautiful. understand you're still registered at the university.
Well, you know I gotta take a few courses each semester, man. Keep that bread coming from home.
Do you ever intend to get a degree?
You know, what do I need with a status symbol?
That's all it is to you.
For a black man in this country? I don't know, what else is it?
You know how my grandmother learned to read?
No, huh?
Along with me. Remember those reading premise?
Dick and Jane? Yeah.
When I first got into those books, my grandmother used to for me to come home from school so she could help me with my reading. And she would follow the whole thing, line for line. But one day, I don't know why, I just read a line wrong. And I realized she couldn't read. And I went into the bathroom and I locked the door. And I cried. And every day after that, I ran home so my grandmother could help me read. And man, the first time I saw her really read, get your education, boy, she used to say. Because that's the only thing the white man can take away from you. And she was right.
No, I can't figure you, man.
What's the figure?
Well, what do you want this for? You want power, you want revenge, you know? What is it?
It's simple, Willie. I just want to be free. How about you?
So do I.
And I hate white folks. Hate white folks. This is not about hate white folks. It's about loving freedom enough to die or kill for it if necessary. Now you're going to need more than hate to sustain you when this thing begins. Now if you feel that way, you're no good to us and you're no good to yourself. You ever kill a man, Willie?
No.
I have in Korea. And when you spill a man's guts in the gutter, you see how fast hate disappears, unless you like killing, and I don't think you will. Now some of the Cobras will. Stud will.
Why Stud?
Because he's a killer. He doesn't know it yet, but he is. I have another job for you, Willie.
What's that?
We need money. So I have a bank job case. The only thing about it is I can't have the job connected with the Cobras.
How are you gonna do that?
We use Red Beans, Benny Rooster, Paul Monte, JT, Johnny, and Tom. And you lead the team.
All the yellow niggas, right? Look, man, I am tired of that. I am not passing. I am black. Do you hear me, man? Do you understand? I am black. I'm a nigga. You understand me? I was born black. I live black. And I'm gonna die probably because I'm black. Because some cracker that knows I'm black better than you, nigga, is probably gonna put a bullet in the back of my head. Stick up. Put your hands up. Move. Get on the wall. Get on the wall. Get up. Now, move. Put your hands up. Hands up.
Chicago police are seeking 6 heavily armed men after a daring daylight robbery today of a southwest Chicago bank. Bank authorities estimate the theft to be in excess of $300,000. The men have been described by eyewitnesses as 6 Caucasian males between the age of 20 to 30. Police warn that these men are armed and dangerous.
Oh, the name is on! Oh, the name is on! I keep calling the name! Get up! Get up! Put him up, Malcolm! We play these motherfuckers to 100!
Recruitment and training group ready?
Had their final exams last week.
Transportation set?
They make 2 moves before they reach their final destination. Check for tails along the way. Pick up instructions as they go along.
Logistics?
There'll be $500 in new identification papers waiting for them when they reach the other end. After that, they live off the street.
And when they get there?
Locate and identify a gang like the Cobras. Set up training, a chain of command, organization, and a very tight discipline.
And?
No junk.
Good. I want the men assigned to Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Detroit, New Orleans, and Los Angeles to move out within 10 days.
Man, they got some bad brothers in New Orleans.
You got that right. And stagger the rest of them over the next month. There'll be monthly reports until they make contact and weekly reports after that. Now, if they get busted in a street hassle, they recruit in prison and we replace them. Any questions?
Go, Malcolm.
Go to the basket.
Hey, man. I just got off duty, so I just stopped by this.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Hey, Joy.
Hi, Pete. How are you?
Okay.
How's the family?
Oh, just fine, just fine.
Good.
Hey, Freebie, I think my oldest boy's gonna be an athlete.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, man. You remember that move I used to make coming off the baseline?
Yeah.
Well, he's got it, man. He's got it. The head, the shoulder fake, and everything. Man, and I didn't teach him that move. You know, I went to the game the other day, and there it was. Reminded me of myself 20 years ago.
I'd like to see that. Next time you go to the game, take me along.
That's a bet.
Okay.
How's Eileen?
Just fine. She's back in school at nights, and she got a master's last year. Now she's going for a PhD.
Any chance of you two getting back together again?
I don't think so. I mean, it's not easy being the wife of a cop.
Say, hey, Jug's in town. How about us sketching the set?
The 3 of us? Like old times?
Hey, I'm sorry, but I have really got to go home.
Oh, boo.
So we'll make it early next week, okay?
Okay. Can't cut her loose, can you?
No. And she knows me too well.
Okay. Have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
For me?
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Talk to you later.
Yeah. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen, let me get this coat on. We go down and maybe we catch 2 sets.
Okay. Then we'll have a nightcap and a late dinner at the Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll cut out all this fooling around and go see these 2 chicks that I came over to tell you about before I found out that Joy was here.
Yes. Splendid. What happens in an underground organization when the first and second in command are either killed or captured? Daddy?
Each man is trained to handle positions 3 steps ahead of him in grade. The operations officer moves up and takes command, and everyone else moves up 2 grades.
Good. Now, we're almost ready.
We ain't no junkies.
From now on, everybody gonna think you are. You put needle marks in your arms and you keep them fresh. And no pig is gonna bust you for the things that we'll be doing as long as you got those tracks.
That's really hip, man. During the daytime, we be nodding. Nighttime, we get out there and do it.
We are gonna get our own. Stop begging for crumbs.
How?
What we got now is a colony. But what we want to create is a new nation. In order to do that, we got to pay a different kind of dues. Freedom dues.
Right on.
Now, according to Mr. Charlie, we have never paid any dues. You dig those plantation movies on television?
Yeah.
No chains, no whips. Bunch of happy darkies just waiting on Master Charlie and his family and digging it.
Like it's fun.
Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. It's Colonel Beauregard come home from the war.
My faithful retainer, George. The war is over, and we lost. You're not a slave anymore, George. You're free.
Free, Master? Is that bad, Master? I don't want to die.
You're free, George. You can leave the plantation.
I want to stay with you.
But I can't pay you, George. The carpetbaggers mortgage the plantation.
Oh, don't let that worry you none. Why, I wouldn't know what to do with no money. And don't let that mortuary thing worry you either. Everything's gonna be all right.
Bless you, George. George. Sit down, George.
Master.
You have just played out the American dream.
Yeah.
And now we're going to turn it into a nightmare.
Please open the door. Please open the door.
Biggs!
Will you open the door?
This one's off duty, lady. Can't you read? Take the next one.
Let's see what we got.
Oh, wow, man, what a rip-off.
You know this gonna make the headline.
No, it won't hit the papers at all. Might give some other people ideas, but this place will be swarming with CIA and FBI.
We go underground?
No. They'll be looking for everybody except us. You see, this took brains and guts, which we don't have, right?
Hey.
Move it out.
Some of the boys is 1A for the draft, man. Now, what we gonna do if they get called? Go underground?
Yeah. If they can beat it, they should. But we recruit every non-vet we can get. Right now, I'm trying to recruit Dawson as a double agent.
Turk, you really think we can win?
In guerrilla warfare, the winning is in not losing. When you sleep on the floor, you can't fall out of bed.
Then what we trying to do, man?
Fight Whitey to a standstill. Force him to make a choice between the two things which he seems to dig most of all. There is no way that the United States can police the world and keep us on our ass too unless we cooperate. When we revolt, we reduce it to a simple choice. Whitey finds out he can't make either.
Well, the Cobras is ready. What about the other brothers and sisters out there on the streets?
Their choice is when we start. If they don't follow our program and turn us into the cops, we lose in a week. But if they support us,
yeah,
then it's hit and run, harass and hound, and we can paralyze this country.
Yeah, right. Training has started already in 9 cities. 5 groups is combat ready. Plus us.
Right. And by next summer, we should be able to hit the 10 largest urban complexes in the United States.
Shit. Behind the pool hall.
Nothing moves till I hear the word, right?
Right.
shot a kid. It looks like it could be trouble.
Don't get involved here.
Gotta go. Don't worry about it.
How things look?
Not good. You're blowing your time.
Anything we can do to help?
Just what you've been doing. Talk to the kids, tell them to cool it. They'll listen to you at first.
Hey, Fred, what about the kids?
Everybody's pretty uptight, Dan.
Hey, look, Bert, go down to the drugstore, call up the office, tell the night girl to round up all of the street workers and get them down here quick. And then join me, all right?
You got it, Dan.
What else to do?
Okay. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me go, man. Let me go. Wait a minute, Listen to me, man. What is this going to do, man? You got a wife that's worried about you. You got a job, and if you get busted, you're going to lose it. You want a few people around here with a job to lose. Man, this has got to stop sometime or somewhere. We ain't animals. Come on, y'all just break it on up. Break it on up. Break it on up.
All right, now, come on. Let's start moving it out of here.
Come on, just go home. Come on. Go on home.
Go on in, bro. It's all over.
Looks like it's cooling down.
Yeah, I think you're right. I should be able to pull my men out in another hour.
Get those dogs out of here! The captain sent me up here. I'm telling you to get them out. I'm in charge. And you know what these people feel about dogs. And I got them on it.
Let's move them. Or I'll kill them. I'm gonna have to move back as soon as I can pull all my men out.
Oh, man, it was gonna be all right.
Okay, let's pull it back. Hold it. Yeah, I know. They were on their way home. We have to bring those goddamn dogs in here.
We'll be here, Turk.
The boys ready?
Been ready.
Ammo.
Mellow.
Primary and secondary targets.
Check them twice a day.
Weapons.
Oil and ready. Everything ready.
We have to wait.
I mean, what for?
Stark, who is the man?
Well, you the man.
And if they get me?
Do daddy.
And?
Me, Pretty Willie, and so on down the line.
So?
We go when you say go.
Yeah. I'll check you tonight.
Right.
I was just standing out looking.
How long since you've been in bed?
Not since the riot started.
That was 3 nights ago, man.
Yeah, I know. Catnap when I can.
When did the National Guard come in?
Late last night. All white.
I noticed.
Yeah, the people didn't dig it when they woke up this morning and found the troops were here.
What do you think they'll do?
I can't see them try by the army.
They didn't mind fighting police?
Yeah. I never seen them like that.
Maybe that badge has put distance between you and them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot. The pigs over here and the people over there. And never the twain shall meet, huh? Hey, man, I grew up down here, too. And I know these people. Now, there were some good people out there in the streets the last few nights. Not just hoodlums, like they say in the newspapers.
In a scene like this, anybody can get involved.
But that's only going to make it worse. We have to maintain law and order, or we might as well be back in the jungles.
Doris, the ghetto is a jungle, always has been. Understand, you cannot cage people like animals and not expect them to fight back someday. It has always been an army occupation here, with police badges and uniforms. Huh? You and me, a cop and a social worker, we are keepers of this goddamn zoo.
The streets have to be safe.
Safe for who? You're here to protect property, not lives.
Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? You worked hard to get what you got, didn't you? And you want to keep it just like I do?
Bullshit. Listen, you think because you got a badge and I got a couple of degrees, that makes a difference? Do you know what white folks call people like you and me in private? Niggers, dogs. Niggers.
Hey, hey, hey. Haven't heard you talk like that since we were in college.
Well, I'm sorry, man. Maybe the last 3 nights been a little bit much. I got a board meeting. I got to go reassure the white folks. Let's go get something to eat, okay?
Okay.
Hey, old bean. And you too, baby. This is Uncle Tom, Commander-in-Chief of your Black Freedom Fighters in North America, bringing you the latest news from your fighting black underground. Hang on, brothers and sisters. Liberation is near. In just a few minutes, at precisely 3 o'clock, we will demolish the lavish offices of the mayor of White Chicago. 'Cause we don't have a mayor, even if they do count our votes several times to elect him every 4 years. Remember, brothers, in spite of the lies about an assassination attempt on the mayor, which will appear in the white press, that this time we blew the mayor's office at night when he was at home to announce the beginning of our war of liberation. I dedicate this program to the National Guard, but we're fresh out of hillbilly music. And according to the press and television, the guard spends all his time playing basketball with the kids and helping old ladies cross the street. But we know better, don't we? We know about that 14-year-old girl the trigger-happy guardsmen shot last night, and the people they beat up, and the black businesses they destroyed, don't we? It's almost time. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. And the mayor's office is now air-conditioned, courtesy of the Black Freedom Fighters of Chicago. And the message is this: pigs in the National Guard have to go immediately, if not sooner. If they have left by midnight Sunday, we will kick them out. Whitey, go home. We don't want you in our neighborhood either, and we will control our nation.
We will leave when things are back to normal, with them at the bottom and us at the top.
Colonel Evans, would you care to comment on charges of brutality by the Guard?
If they obeyed the law, we wouldn't be here. They'll get what they ask for. But there has been no brutality by the Guard.
Colonel, what about the threats by the freedom fighters that kicked the Guard out of the neighborhood?
They said midnight tonight. It is now 12:30, which tells us exactly what we think of their threats. It's also time to put an end to this conference. I have a report to work on. Good night and thank you, gentlemen and ladies.
Right there. You just killed your last white man. He died. My people attack. You don't scare me none, you snaky Indian.
First black colonel.
Little black Sambo.
Rerun. Yeah, how you like that? You like that, don't you? Colonel. Always wanted to be like that, didn't
Coffee, tea, or milk?
Poison? You're gonna kill me?
So, brother, it's a little acid. Going on a little trip. Hold it.
Ben, how are you? I just met the most marvelous bunch of niggers. the most marvelous bunch.
You get him?
Shit.
Two people over in this area, please, hurry.
Due to increased fighting in Chicago, the president has ordered a brigade from the 82nd Airborne into the war-torn South Side to reinforce the beleaguered National Guard under heavy attack by black guerrillas since late last week. This is Pat Fennell, Chicago.
You've been here since the beginning, Carstairs. How does it look to you?
General, it couldn't be worse.
We have elite troops out here now against untrained black fanatics. The whole thing should be over before the weekend.
Those troops are facing a highly trained underground guerrilla army. They have military weapons and they know how to use them. The commander of those elite troops insists he can put this thing down within a few days.
You disagree?
Yes, sir, I do. They're a first-class fighting unit.
You prepared an options book?
Yes, sir.
And?
We have 3. Root them out one by one, starve them out by siege, total evacuation of the black population.
Evacuation?
Now, the first is too costly in lives and equipment. Neither evacuation nor siege would work.
Why not?
General, we sealed off the ghetto for 3 days last week. It paralyzed the city.
Paralyzed Chicago?
Chicago is more dependent on black labor than one would think. 90% of the garbage collectors are colored. 60% of the hospital workers are colored. 60% of the bus drivers and 80% of the postal workers. So although the detention camps occurring under the 1950 Subversion Act are ready, we can't put them to immediate use.
Your recommendation?
We can end it alone, sir.
Yes?
The Russians obviously have a top agitprop man here. Find him, destroy him, and you have disorganized, ignorant Negroes to deal with.
Cut off the head and the snake dies.
Exactly.
All right, Carstairs, get right on it. I'm going back to Washington. Get back to me by tomorrow noon. Honey, I'm going back to Washington. Why don't you amuse yourself here for a few days? Do a little shopping. Be back Sunday, huh?
Sure, baby. We'll find something to do in Chicago.
But how'd you know how to find me?
I looked in the phone book.
Yeah, well, you look great. What are you doing in Chicago?
I'm here with my sponsor. I'm not hustling anymore. Got me a steady scene. Feel a little bit freakish, light black skin. But the money's good. Got me some property. You know it.
I do?
Yeah. You used to work for him. You know you his nigger? All the time he'd be saying if all of us niggers was like you, wouldn't be no trouble. First I thought he was talking about somebody else.
So?
So they had to get Uncle Tom.
Well, what makes you think I know anything about Uncle Tom?
I'm not saying you do, but you know Chicago and I don't.
Yeah, but what am I supposed to do?
Warn him. Tell him they have to kick ass and they ain't playing.
One thing. Why are you sticking your neck out?
I'm black, ain't I?
Yeah, you are, baby. Who's in charge?
Carstairs.
What are they up to?
They plan to get inside, find out who this Uncle Tom is, and kill him.
Cut off the head, and the snake dies. Do they know who Uncle Tom is?
They think he's some guy from Russia.
They would.
You want me to see what else I can find out?
No. Wait a minute. Two can play at this infiltration game. Find out all you can, but don't pry. I'll have somebody contact you in Washington. Baby, be very careful. And don't contact me again unless I get to Washington.
What's this wall, hunky? Split!
And why should you feel threatened by the freedom fighters?
Because I am, and you are too.
How?
You know how. Look, all the progress we've made over the last few years will be wiped out if this thing isn't stopped soon. I heard even your foundation is on its way out.
Well, no. They decided to increase the budget and the staff.
Yeah? Well, my husband was dismissed from the hospital. And he was the first and only Negro on a white hospital staff in the city.
Well, what is the connection between your husband and the freedom fighters?
Dan, that is the whole point. Innocent and decent people are suffering because of niggas who know nothing but hate and revenge.
And it's all the niggas' fault, right?
Look, don't romanticize those people, Dan. They're not beautiful.
Only by contrast.
Dan, those freedom fighters are murderers.
Hey, listen. It didn't figure to be long before those niggas realized that you don't have no wind throwing a brick at somebody with a gun.
Dan, whose side are you on?
Your side. We're in the same bag. Making the best of a bad scene.
I think he's mixed up with those black freedom fighters.
Dad, you gotta be kidding.
I am sure of it. We were talking and I just, for a minute, he was like he used to be.
Yeah. He was something else when he was in college. And that was before all this became fashionable.
He was defending those animals. Then he called himself
He said all the right things, but it just wasn't him. Just wasn't the man I know.
Perfect source for intelligence. Gig takes him all over the ghetto. I'll check it out.
Pete, I am doing the right thing.
Come on. Just put your coat down right there. Come on.
What is this, Dawes?
Come on, Uncle Tom.
Come on! Uncle what?
Uncle Tom, up against the wall. Come on, against the wall. Spread your feet out. Come on.
Hey, easy. What is this? Some kind of joke, man?
Yeah, that's a joke. The joke is on me. I've been looking all over for Uncle Tom, and here you are under my nose. Cool Dan Freeman. Only digging sports cars and bread, good clothes and chicks. Beautiful cover, man.
And when I think about it, I mean really think about it. Now, would I risk all of this for that?
Yeah, well, I don't have to worry about that, man. I got enough evidence to take you in, and that's what I'm going to do.
What evidence?
Oh, them tapes, man. Them Uncle Tom propaganda tapes that you cats spread around the ghetto. Well, I listened to them over and over again. And it's you, Dan. It's your voice.
You gotta be crazy.
Well, we'll see if a voice print proves whether I'm crazy or not.
Now what?
Now what? Well, the scene is over. Well, one thing. Are you working with the commies like they say? Who's behind you?
How come there gotta be somebody behind me?
Oh, come on, man. Don't put me on. No. The FBI says it's the most sophisticated underground movement in the Western Hemisphere. The work of an expert.
And expertise is white man's monopoly, right, Dawes? Well, I am an expert. I spent 5 years flunkying to become an expert.
This gun makes me an expert.
You're a big man with that gun and that badge. You know, Dawes, you want to have it both ways. You want a pat on your head from Whitey, and you want the love and respect of your people. But you can't be with your people without betraying that badge. And you can't be a cop without betraying your people, you hypocrite.
You think nobody else feels the way you do? You think you're the only nigger with the sense of an outrage?
Well, then hit back. Join us. We can use you. We got undercover people on the force.
On the force?
That's right. But
who?
Nobody with your rank. Come on, join us, Tom.
And you're using kids.
Who else am I going to involve? People like you and me? The kids are our only hope. And I got to them before they got jailed or killed or turned into Dawsons. And now they'll do anything to be free.
Who said you were free, man?
Well, Dawes, even on the wrong end of your gun, I'm a lot freer than you are.
It's Dawson.
Hey, man. Dawson's your main man. You know, that would be like me killing Daddy.
Yeah. And maybe one day you'll have to kill Daddy. Or him, you. You think we're playing games? Killing white strangers? There are a lot of Dawsons out there, and some of them will try to stop us. But anybody gets between us and freedom has got to go. Now, that's anybody. You got the airborne out there now. If 40% of those troops are black, maybe they'll help us, and maybe they won't. But in the meantime, if you hesitate with any one of them because he's black just once, you be one dead cobra. Now, if you ain't ready to pay them kind of dues, now you get out and go back to doing nothing, but don't tell me who I killed and what it cost me to do it. Now, get him out of here. Get him out. Right, It is now condition red. All fighters in the field. You alert our groups everywhere. And remember, don't quit until you either win or you die.
Outbreak in the black section of Oakland brings to a total of 8 the number of uprisings by black guerrillas in cities across the nation. The president has declared a state of national emergency.
Expect me, nigga, like you expect Jesus to come back. Expect me, nigga, I'm coming. Expect me, nigga, like you expect Jesus to come back. Expect me, nigga, I'm coming. Expect me, nigga, like you expect Jesus to come back. Expect me, nigga, I'm coming.
Notice your pain. My pain runs deep. Share it with me. Now I live down the street. I pray the Lord my God to keep. If I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to save. God is God. When doves cry, times is hard.
Born thugging and loving the way I came up, big money clutching. Bustin' while evading cocaine, bust my post rushing. See my clutching into insanity. Shout at my cousin now, bustin' if they your family. The cops wanna see me buried, I ain't worried. I got a line on the DA cause I'm fucking his secretary. I black out and start cussing, bust them and touch them all. They panicking, bitches ducking, I rush them and fuck them all. I'll probably be an old man before I understand why I had to live my life with pistols close in hand. Kidnap my homie sister, cut her face up bad. They even raped her, so we blaze they pad. Automatic shots bring out on every block. They putting hits out on politicians, even cops. I ain't lying, they got me sleeping with my infrared beams. And in my dreams, I hear motherfuckers screaming. What is the meaning? When thugs, battle squads and closed caskets are multiplied. Motherfuckers die, don't ask why. When thugs cry, you don't shed tears, we shed blood. You love and close the penitentiaries. Still, homie, keep it real. How does it feel to lose your life over something that you did as a kid? You all alone, no communication, block on the phone. Don't get along with your pop, and plus your mom's is gone. Where did we go wrong? I put my soul in this song to help us grow in time, but now our moms is gone. We went from brothers and sisters to niggas and bitches. We went from welfare living to worldwide riches. And something changed in this dirty game. Everything strange. Lost all my homies over cocaine. Man, see they asked me if I shed a tear. I ain't lie. See, I gotta get high and die. Cause even thugs dry. Battle scars and closed caskets to multiply. Motherfuckers die. Don't ask why. When thugs cry, we don't shed tears, we shed blood. You still wanna be a thug? When thugs cry, battle scars and closed caskets to multiply. Motherfuckers die. Don't ask why. When thugs cry, we don't shed tears, we shed blood. You still wanna be a thug? When thugs cry, paranoid bitches, illegal inventions, busting motherfuckers with uppercuts. I leave them with dents. In my criminal mind, nobody violates the dawn. I write your name on a piece of paper. Their family's gone. I perpetrate like you can handle my team. So merciless in my attack. I take command of your dreams. Leaving motherfuckers drowning in their own blood. Trying to take a pictures later. Laugh about them bone bitches that turn snitches. I regulate my area. The terror I represent make your people disappear. You wondering where they went in my cold, or is it just I sold my soul? Addicted to these streets, never find true peace, I'm told. Come take my body, God, don't let me suffer any longer. Smoke a pound of marijuana so I know where they long. When is the end all my misery? Is there close? I suppose that's why I murdered my foes. When thugs cry, battle scars and closed caskets to multiply. Motherfuckers die, don't ask why. When thugs cry, we don't shed tears, we shed blood. You still wanna be